Today I will explain to you the book Think and Grow Rich as a small story that will teach you all the secrets of the book. At the top of a forgotten mountain, where the clouds melted in the moonlight, there was a young man named Adam. He lived his early years among the cold fields and extreme poverty, but his heart held something more precious than gold, a question that never sleeps. One night as he gazed at the stars, he heard a strange whisper creeping through the ancient trees. There, in the depths of the black forest, a temple hides behind the fog of centuries. Whoever enters it and passes its 7 challenges will emerge a master of immeasurable wealth. Adam did not hesitate. He carried a burlap bag and some water and began his journey. In the darkness of the night, he arrived at the door of the giant stone temple, decorated with strange symbols. He entered and was confronted with a room as dark as an open mouth. On the wall, words of blue fire burned on the wall. "What do you want so much that you will make this darkness a shame to slow you down?" Adham screamed with all his soul, "I want a fortune that will restore my dignity. I don't want to die hungry like my father." Suddenly, the darkness parted and a bright corridor appeared. A voice whispered like a distant echo, "The desire that cannot be extinguished by years is the first seed. Write it down. Draw it in your imagination every night. Otherwise, the sun will forget it at dawn." Adam walked until he saw in front of him a rickety wooden bridge spanning a bottomless abyss. The wind slaps the stones, and the bridge screams as if it is dying. At the edge of the abyss, he noticed a faint inscription. "Faith is not to believe that the bridge exists. It's stepping on it even if it breaks." He closed his eyes. He sighed and began to whisper as if praying, "I deserve to be rich. I deserve to be rich." Over and over again, until his feet began to shake. Suddenly, the wood of the bridge turned into solid iron chains. The voice whispered again, "True faith is to plant your certainty in your subconscious until it becomes the blood in your veins." In the next room, Adam faced a black mirror that showed his image with torn clothes and eyes full of defeat. He shuddered when he saw the words carved into the frame. "What will you say to your face in the mirror tomorrow?" Gathering all his strength, he shouted at his reflection, "I am the master of my destiny. Affluence is my choice. I will never kneel again." The mirror shattered, its shards turning into liquid gold, while a new corridor opened up. The voice screamed, "Careful with your words. Every word you teach yourself creates your new skin." Next, he found himself in an abandoned library, its shelves stretching to infinity. Each book has a title that shines like a star. Secrets of the Universe, The Power of Gold, The Making of Kings. But on the door, in red writing, "Knowledge alone will not save you. It is what you master until it becomes your blood." Adham grabbed a book at random, and all the books disappeared but one. The Secret of Turning Dirt into Gold. The voice said, "The world does not give you wealth until you prove that you have specialized in one thing, something that makes you irreplaceable." He then entered a gilded hall, in the center of which sat a huge demon on a throne of skulls. The demon laughed. "How many times have you failed because you thought wishing was enough?" Adam shook his head and pulled out a worn paper from his pocket with a detailed plan to build a shopping mall in his village. The devil turned into a light being and said, "Failure is not your enemy. It's proof that you need a more accurate map." After that, he found himself in a dark maze, hearing the voices of his old friends shouting, "Go home. You will never make it." Adam ran, covering his ears, but the voices were getting louder. Finally, he stopped and started blowing like a tornado. "I keep going. I keep going," until the walls began to crack and the light of the end appeared. The voice whispered, "Persistence is the magic that turns failure into a mere stone in your path." In the final room, he saw 12 circular chairs around a giant table. Human shadows appeared seated, and one of them asked him, "Who will sit here to discuss your ideas?" Beware. One thought does not build an empire. Adam looked into the void and began calling out the names of his old teachers and friends he had imagined from the books of the wise. One by one, the chairs filled up, and the shadows melted into his body like energy. The voice shouted, "This is how genius becomes. Choose your allies wisely and free. Never think alone." When he reached the last door, he found it locked with a golden latch. He pushed with all his might. The room was empty except for a giant mirror. He looked at it and saw himself in royal clothes, but the last words were engraved on its frame. "True wealth is not what you earn. It's what you become." A great laughter erupted in the room, as if the walls themselves were laughing. You carried the treasure at every step. The puzzles were a test of your mind, not your feet. Now, if you like the story, subscribe and write in the comments the name of the book you want me to explain next time.